And a very happy new year to my modern players as well. Hope you've all been doing well. We got some, I want to say, off-meta. Death Taxes is always kind of in and out. I think this was during the time when, for some reason, it was back in. I have no idea why it became so popular again all of a sudden, but piloting Death and Taxes, we have Jasper, and his opponent, Rik, is playing Dimir Rogues. Now, I had to actually look up deck list for this, because I've not played this deck nearly enough. But in general, the strategy from Rogues is going to be try and get the minimum required cards in the graveyard, and then it turns on all your rogues, and they become just these big beatstick creatures. They all have flash as well, by the way, so it's gonna be interesting to see how that works against the deck like Death and Taxes. Oh, if I can words today, my god. Let's see, we have a Thieves Guild Enforcer. Let's see. Yes, it's a 1-mana 1/1 with flash that mills your opponent 2 cards, but if your opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard, it's a 3/2 with Death Touch. So pretty on curve for what you expect Modern to be right now. Let's be honest. With Dragon's Rage Channelers and Darcy's everywhere, Thieves Guild Enforcer is definitely not the worst thing you could be doing in the format. Doughty Voidwalker also coming down. It's the a really underrated card from Modern Horizons 2, and Jasper not really doing anything at this point. He has 2 vials going. He has some lands, but hasn't really managed to get anything into play thanks to... actually, yeah, I don't know why he hasn't really gotten anything into play yet. We got, I think that is an Archon of Emeria? Yes, it is. Gonna make it really obnoxious for Rik to put any kind of lands into play. But thankfully, most of Rik's creatures have flash, so it shouldn't be a problem to keep playing his creatures. Jasper viling in Leonin Arbiter. But Rik is keeping open mana. Yeah, I would imagine this could be a pretty tough matchup for a deck like Death and Taxes. But we'll have to see. Jasper now actually putting some creatures into play, getting the game started. And as a Giver of Runes coming down. Gonna be able to hopefully start protecting some of his other creatures. That is a Soaring Thought Thief. If an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard, all rogues you control get +1/+0. So that's really gonna start putting a clock on Jasper here. Worth mentioning that the Voidwalker is also a rogue, so definitely benefiting from that particular interaction. The Voidwalker also has Shadow, so it's unblockable. So it's a 4-2 right now that can't be blocked. It's a pretty good clock. Flicker Wisp being vile in here. Most likely gonna try and block the Soaring Thought Thief here. Which I think is a 2-3 right now. Not that that matters. So yeah, they trade. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I was thinking the Voidwalker could have attacked but didn't, but of course the effect of the Voidwalker means that any cards exiled by it can be... Well, you can play one of them, but you have to sack and tap the Voidwalker for it. So... I'm not sure what happened there, actually. Did it cast? Oh, did he already use his cast for the turn and then sacked the Voidwalker trying to cast Solitude but couldn't? Yeah, I think he played the Thieves Guild Enforcer that turn and then tried to play the second spell, but he couldn't because of the Archon. Ooh, that's unfortunate. So both players deciding to go on the offense here. Yeah, that vial is gonna make it really hard for Rik to get anything in. It does seem to have Drown in luck, I think. And a Fatal Push, which then gets fizzled by the Giver of Runes. Yeah, no, the Drown in the Lock wouldn't work on the Archon, unfortunately, because the Voidwalker has kind of kept the board small here. That's unfortunate. And now Rik is in a bit of a pickle. Ooh, upkeep Ether Vial is gonna Violin Thalia. And I think that is game 1. Let's draw a land. Yeah, no, those Archons just too strong. And we go to game 2. Now for game 2 we have Jasper on a mulligan to 6, Rik keeping 7. Okay, we have Jasper on a mulligan to 5. Just straight up Inquisition. Getting game 2 started fantastically. Now, for sideboards, on Rik's side, I'm not sure if he has anything that's gonna be relevant. I see a lot of rogue players playing Engineered Explosives that could be useful, and while I don't think he brought it in, I am going to mention Collective Brutality, but honestly that's probably not... This is probably not the matchup for a Collective Brutality. On Jasper's side, he might bring in some Sanctifier and Vex. Ooh, Rest in Peace could be pretty good because that turns off all of the power-ups on the rogues. So maybe maybe some kind of graveyard hate is actually worth it here. And again, if Jasper could get an Archon of Emeria on the field, we saw what that does in game 1, so... yeah, that didn't look too bad. Not bad at all. Bush gonna take care of the Giver. That's one problem solved. Gonna counter the Ether Vial. Just trying to slow down Jasper and actually missing a land drop, so any three drops are delayed as well. The Inquisition. Yeah, plenty of cards, but Flicker Wisps, Solitude, and what is that last card? That Path to Exile? I've never seen that art, I think. So Rik's gonna take care of one of the Flicker Wisps, which Jasper now has enough mana for. Gonna cast the other one. That one's gonna get countered. And game 2 looking a lot better for Rik here. A Voidwalker coming down. Oh. There we go. Yeah, Voidwalker... I mean, the card is good. The fact that it's a rogue gives you some interesting synergies. But the fact that it is graveyard hate is little bit awkward. Not gonna lie. A little bit awkward. This makes it so much harder for you to actually get your cards doing what you want them to do. And you need 8 cards, and right now we're sitting at 5, and while it's definitely a clock, and it's definitely a good card, I mean, it's not like Rik has anything else to do right now, but he might in the future. And unfortunately, Jasper doesn't really have any large, chunky targets to exile. I mean... he could hit like a Cauldron or a Batterskull. Well, now he can't hit the Cauldron, but Push coming down on the Stoneforge Mystic, just getting it out there as fast as possible. Because if that Cauldron comes down next turn, this game is not looking too good for Rik. But it's gonna take Jasper a couple turns now. Maybe he finds a second Stoneforge Mystic and it becomes more interesting. And yeah, it looks like it is Path to Exile. Can't quite see what the art on that path is, but no idea. I have no idea why I've never seen it before. At least I don't remember seeing it before. And from like 3 feet over the table, it looks like just a giant red blob. So I don't know. I also have no idea what land that is. No, it's not a factory. Right? Nah. Not sure, actually. Anyway, we have a... What's the damn thing called? A Soaring Thought Thief. Or Rik here. Jasper is gonna try and evoke a Solitude, which gets countered. And the Thief is gonna come in for 2. Looks like Jasper has 8 or more cards in his graveyard. So the Thief is online now. And I'm interested in finding out if Jasper is playing Rest in Peace right now. Because that would completely blow this game out of the water. Assuming it resolves, of course. But we have seen a number of counterspells already, and Rik is playing Drown in the Lock, so he could try and counter it, but if a Rest in Peace ever resolves, then I think it is pretty game-ending. Also worth noting, Rik is playing Snapcaster Mage, which would also be pretty donezo. I think I saw an Engineered Explosive there. There was definitely another Soaring Thought Thief as the draw for the turn. Yes, that is an Engineered Explosives. It's gonna get played on 2. I'm guessing gonna get cracked immediately. Yeah. Just get rid of the Stoneforge Mystic while it still has Summoning Sickness, and while it's kind of feels bad losing the only creature you have on the field. It's a lot more feels bad if Cauldron actually gets played. Which it might just actually still be. Or a Batter Skull, you know, that works too. That might actually be better in this position. I actually missed 2 points of damage. Yeah, second Thought Thief being flashed in. Gonna put Jasper to 11. Now that Batter Skull is going to show us why Stoneforge Mystic was banned for so many years. Rik is gonna feel the power of Death and Taxes real soon. Yeah, just gonna drop Cauldron. And actually the Cauldron gets drowned. So that's good. That's good. Second Thought Thief. Bumping the first one. Lagging behind a little bit. That's alright. Rik isn't completely out of it yet, but Jasper is definitely putting on the pressure right now. Now the 2 Thought Thieves are pumping each other, so they are 3-3 right now. So he is still out-damaging the lifesteal for now, but that sword is gonna make things a lot harder. Sword of Fire and Ice. Quick reminder. That is now a 6/6 germ with Vigilance, Lifelink, Pro Red, Pro Blue. And when it hits, it deals 2 damage. Yeah, no. That's not gonna do it. That Better Skull just too big. And Jasper beating Rik 2-0 using Death and Taxes.